Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is City Skylines 2 and the city of Ringholm with me, Emory. A couple of days ago, 3 new content creator packs were revealed. One with a couple of leisure buildings, another one called Dragon Gate, and the last one called Mediterranean Heritage. So I'm looking forward to those. We'll enjoy looking into these or those in a couple of days. But for now, let's just continue the expansion of Newport. I do want to get in a mall, I think, so we'll do that today. But for now, let's just start with this empty plot right here. I think we'll continue with the wavy pattern. It's kind of wavy on the golden corner, as you can see. So let's just place this one down somewhere around here. We want to leave a little bit of a gap between the other estates and this new one, so we can have pedestrian access in between. The first lot of the day is completed. Let's just remove this building over here so we can see better. I like the waviness of the buildings. It looks very good. Let's just take this color here and paste it to the other buildings as well. Okay, that one went a bit gray, but hey ho. There we are. Before we start with the pedestrian street in between these blocks, let's start by adding some surfaces underneath the blocks themselves. For the pedestrian street itself, I'm thinking we'll continue the trend of the red brick. We've added a lot of red brick here and there, so let's continue. Not these ones that we have for the tram station. I like this one that we have for the school area. Let's see if we can find it. No, not here. Ah, there they are. Let's use this one. Let's just start by adding the corners. It's quite easy. In this case, if I can line it up correctly. Yeah, that looks good. That actually looks lovely. I think we'll use a couple of parks in between. Let's just see if we can get a pedestrian crossing in between. Okay. When we use these modded roads, when we mod roads, sometimes we get this issue where we just get a big hole. So it doesn't look like I can have a pedestrian crossing here. That's a shame. That's a darn shame. Let's see what we can do about this. Before addressing the crossing issue, though, I just want to see if people have moved into these flats, and they are pretty much full, which is good. Paying taxes already, I hope. For the pedestrian area in between, I do want to have a small park. I do think the long, narrow one that we have is good. If I could find it, that's the wrong menu. There it is. So let's just put it here for the moment as it needs a road. We'll just move it and hopefully, no, okay, that's perfect. Could we move it a little bit to the right? No, okay, we can't. So let's just move it tiny bit, and there we are. I think that looks very nice indeed. We'll add some invisible paths on either side. Just 2 more parks before we do that. There we are. I think that looks very nice. Let's just put these paths down, as we said, 1 on each side. We might add a couple more later on if we feel it necessary, so it doesn't look like they all walk down a straight line. But they should use these paths quite quickly if there is a need for them to go down that route. Yeah, they are already using it. Perfect. Here you can see me trying to address the crossing issue that we had before by instead building a bridge over it. It worked very nicely on the beach side, but on the other side it had a strange terrain glitch. As you can see there, it was just a massive hole that was being created for some reason. It didn't matter where I put it. So sadly we'll just abandon this the idea for the moment. I could change the road, but I really want the parking to be there. So yeah, we'll just leave it as it is for the moment. Yeah, without the crossing. They'll walk over, as you can see they do anyway, but yeah. If we just take a quick look, we can see that they are at least using the pedestrian street that we built to go between the beach and up towards the school, of course, crossing the tram station. So at least it works. We are happy with that. On the corner here, I placed down a bookstore. I do believe it's from the Chinese pack. We'll just move it into position so we get the right angle, and we'll have to move the benches and the hedges. I don't have to remove the benches, I think. Yeah, let's remove them anyway. I could always put them back if I want to. Let's play around a little bit with the colors and see if we can find something nice and not as beige and boring as I tend to be. At least I'm trying. Oh, this, I mean, I like this color, but okay, let's do a little bit more color. Maybe red or maybe yellow, and then we'll put some nice residential buildings all around. And in between these two buildings right here, I'm gonna put a palm tree down because we have a little bit of a strange corner. There was a result of the building to the right needing to be placed in a certain way to get the road connection, but some greenery will cover that one up quite nicely. Let's just finish it up with a couple of flower beds. I do want to have the same color, so let's remove the red one and just move the other one into position like that. And there we go. Strange corner, kinda covered up at least a little bit. And while we are in the subject of detailing, let's just detail the area under the school overhang. We'll do something simple with these garden or flower beds. Just some seating, maybe a couple of lamps in between. Doesn't need to be more than that, just a little touch here and there. We just have the lighting left and we'll be done with the schools, at least for now. All done. Something simple, nothing more than that, and it looks okay to me. If you look in the back, you can see that many residents are requiring medical assistance, so I've placed down this small hospital right here just for the moment to address the issue. It will be moved It's just placed behind the future subway station. Just also remove the lights here so the ambulances can get out a little bit easier and quicker. And I do think that we want to build the mall actually behind the subway station, or kind of integrate it into the subway station. Maybe we can have the subway station just on the back side of the mall. I think we can do that. Yeah, let's see what we can come up with. So the hospital has been moved, and now I want to look for some walls because I do not like that the subway station is so open. I want it to be a part of the mall that we're gonna build. So let's try to make it look like it's a part of the mall, and to do so we need to have some walls. It's a bit difficult to find them. I do think they came with the French pack, so I have a couple of favorites here, which I'm just quickly going to remove because I don't want to have any favorites at the moment. Yeah, but they are a bit difficult to find. I do think that they came with the French pack, or was it the British pack? Huh. Or maybe the German packs. Anyway, let's try to find them. Let's just go through everything here. It's just simple. Oh, here they are. Simple wall. It was the French pack. Let's place these down and see what we can come up with. Why are you in the ground? So I put down the walls as I want them, the length that I want them. I'm just removing a couple of trees so we can use move it without getting all the trees with us. Let's see if we can move it down, and we want to select this whole area. Maybe like this. And then we're just gonna move it into position. We got a couple of trees with us. We'll of course remove them as we go. You can now change these to left and right, up and down with the move it mod. It's very nice. I think that looks good. We want to try to cover as much as possible. It would probably be easier if we put more tracks on both sides so we know how it's gonna look. But for a start, this looks good. And for the entrances to the subway, we're going to use these storefronts. It is a bit difficult. I never know how to place them, because if you basically put them to the wall, as you can see, there is always some doors that goes into the wall and you can see the wall. And if you move these out so you cannot see the wall, there is a big gap on top. So it's a bit difficult, but there is a couple of them that are very flat, so to speak. So we'll see if we can find something that looks okay, at least. So it did take a little bit of time before I did manage to find something that I think looks okay without any walls going through doors and so on. Let's have this in fence mode and see if we can get these along the wall itself. It's a little bit tricky, but we'll manage, making sure that there is no strange gap on the top side. Something like that should be fine, and we'll go all the way through the end like this. Here we are. Okay, so I mean, this looks okay. This will be plenty of entrances to the subway, and also of course to the shopping mall that we're gonna have behind the station. And for now, this is okay. It doesn't look perfect, but it's what we've got, so this is what we'll work with. And this is the model that I've chosen, is another asset from the Chinese pack. It looks very nice, very modern, I think, or at least semi-modern, and the backside of it is straight, so it'll be very easy to fit alongside the subway station. We'll just try to move it in as close as we can, so we don't need to place any more of those walls down. We do, of course, need to cover these sides here, but yeah. Now that the building is straight against the tracks, I mean, it looks good. We have to address the gap that we had between the building and the walls, this gap right here. So let's just grab another piece of wall, just place it down. Oh, these walls are not easy to work with. They are very all over the place, but let's just place one down here on the terrain, and we'll just move it to try to get it in the right position, something like that. Of course, we have to address the height because we don't want it to sticking out. There we are. That actually looks very good. You can't even see any gaps at all, and now basically it looks like it's a part of the station and the mall are one. Good. After adding some parking, I've decided that we'll just copy this building and add another one, doubling the size of the mall. This is something we can do thanks to a mod, of course. These are signature buildings, so normally you would only be able to have one, but we'll add two in this case. Again, we have to make sure that the building itself doesn't encroach too much on the subway tracks, but again, making sure that it is all straight and looks as good as possible. I've added some surfaces to the parking lots themselves and some surfaces in between, so we can make some nice paths for pedestrians to walk up and down. All we need to do now is continue with some more decoration. I want some hedges and some trees surrounding this parking lot. I have removed one of the lanes that we had for pedestrians here in the middle to make a little bit more room for greenery. We could use the same trees that we have used before, but I do not want to use them. I want some kind of other trees just to change up things. Could do palm trees, but I'm not gonna do that here. You can also see the triangle up to the right there, right to the left. That's going to be a square or a plaza with a little bit of a fountain. Let's just start by putting down these pines at the end. We're not going to go pines up towards the mall, but in the end, I think that would look good. These smaller trees could do, or maybe, yeah, this will do. They are pretty much the same as the other trees, but the color is a bit different. They are a bit more dark in their color, darker green. I like this. So far, this mall is shaping up. The parking lot is being used quite a lot, as you can see. We've added some invisible paths, so people are using the walkways that we put down between the parking lots themselves. Added some lights, of course, and a couple of these what do we call them, flower pots or flower beds. Let's just add some palm trees to the outside of the mall, I think. Yeah, let's add some greenery here. We already have these patches of grass here, so we could just add a couple of palm trees there to make the area again a bit more green. You might not want to do this, but as you know, I always like a little bit of greenery, so let's do that. Some of these shopping centers do actually have residential above them. I know that I live next to a shopping center that did have residential above them. I am gonna put a road, of course, because the house will need road access. It'll go on the inside and it'll come out to the right here, and then we'll put down some houses next to the road like this. We're gonna put the road right through the building here to this windows, or it's gonna be our gate. It fits the road very well, actually, so it looks like that could be a gate in. So it's not unreasonable. It's just that the cars will drive through the gate, even though it's not open, but you can't get everything. It'll look good anyway. 5 residential buildings have been added. We're just changing the color to a nice yellow, and we are pretty much done with the buildings themselves. We have the mall, as you can see, with the residential in the back, looking very nice. And from this side, you can clearly see the subway station with the mall and residential in the back. I think this turned out pretty well. Let's just finish with some decoration. And I'm just finishing up the last touches on the square that we said that we were going to do. I've added a fountain, couple benches, nothing special, just finishing off the area. Before we go though, I do want to also prepare the tram station. We won't do much. I'm just gonna add some small shopping along the avenue to the right, and then put down some surfaces, preparing it for future expansion of the tram. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to wrap this show up for today. As always, we've been pretty busy, I have to say. We did these 2 blocks down here, and in between them, we did a nice little pedestrian walkway. Of course, the main thing that we did today was this subway station / mall / residential quarter. The end result did turn out pretty well. Of course, there is still some detailing that needs to be done, but the subway station is fairly integrated. The mall looks good, and there is a nice big parking lot in front of the mall. We've also prepared for a new tram station, of course, in the future. With that said, before we end with some nice cinematics, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, have a good one.